Good morning, I'm Philip Rice. Carolyn and I first became friends when we started to play music together at church along with a number of other people. We used to meet once a week at the home of Neil and Pauline Clark, where we used to practice and get to know new songs. The church had bought some copies of Mission Praise, the original Mission Praise, which was first published for use at the Billy Graham Mission England rallies. This is my original copy. It's got 282 hymns and songs, some traditional, mainly well-known hymns, and some fairly modern at the time songs, hymns and worship songs. This is the latest version that we have, which is the 30th anniversary edition. This was published a few years ago now, so there may be a later one, but this one has in 2 volumes 1,385 hymns and songs. Our little worship group all those years ago included Nick Parker on the cello and Carolyn's sister Judith on the viola, and Carolyn's other sister Gillian. Carolyn and Gillian used to take it in turns to play the piano, which was handy because they were both nurses working shifts, so they very rarely appeared together at the same time. I remember at one point that we started to work through Mission Praise, starting at number 1, trying to learn every hymn or song, or at least to decide which ones we liked and could play, and which ones we wanted to play during worship. One of our favourites back in the mid-80s was the one I want to play for you this morning. It's called Jubilate Deo, written by Fred Dunn and based on words from Psalm 100. And Carolyn and I liked it so much that we had it played at our wedding in 1987. Psalm 100 is a psalm for giving grateful praise, and in the New International Version it goes like this. Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Know that the Lord is God. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name, for the Lord is good and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations. It's a wonderful song of praise. We're called to praise God not just for what he does, but just for who he is. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Know that the Lord is God. The temple, the main place of worship, was designed with the holy place reserved for the holiest people. Only they could go right to the centre, and within that the most holy place, which was separated by a curtain, where only the high priest was allowed to enter once a year to be in the very presence of God. Beyond the holy place were the inner courts, and beyond them the outer courts, and riffraff like you and I would only be allowed in those outer courts. But Psalm 100 encourages us nevertheless to enter his gates and his courts with praise. On Good Friday, the curtain in the temple, that curtain that separated the most holy place from the rest of the temple, was torn from top to bottom. Now everyone can not only enter his courts, but can be in the very presence of God. Now Carolyn and I were both interested not only in music, but also in worship. We wanted to use music to enhance worship, to help people worship meaningfully. Many of the psalms were written specifically for worship and can teach us the true meaning of worship. And Psalm 100 simply teaches us to worship God because of who he is, because of his enduring love, and because of his continuing faithfulness. This is Fred Dunn's take on Psalm 100, Jubilate Deo, which roughly translated means sing joyfully to God.